I'm bright star in the nighttime. I'ma go hard when it's my time. Yeah, I'm hard and I'm light. You know you can't pause when the time's right. Sitting in the stars and watching you. You gotta ride the turbo with.
Okay, so my point is that I said, okay, I think Jesus Christ was real, which I do. I believe he's God. He's a guy, just
Me
like
too.
any other God. He's
Yeah.
a God. So
The Son of God.
That was my entrance to talking about Jesus Christ.
Right.
A lot of people don't like to talk. They won't even let me say this, what I'm saying now. Saying the words, Jesus Christ. A lot of people, no, don't say that.
You can say
Why?
that on my show. You
Okay,
can say,
thank you
I've
very
got
much.
many friends from many different religions, and I don't judge anyone for anything.
Well, I kind of
that's
assume that.
It's
because
free will, isn't it? Free will to
No, it's just
have.
you. It's just you.
No, I give people the free will. It's acceptance. I'm not going to judge someone by their faith, but
that's you.
I judge someone by how they treat other people, though.
Well, that's you're a good Homo sapien.
Yes, I am a good Homo sapien.
But that's
I try to be.
you, man. There's no, I mean,
Yeah.
the rest of the world is not you. The rest of the world is them
Yes,
or
us
him
and them.
or
Pink Floyd.
her. Yeah. So, but I knew that you were okay because I started to talk about Jesus Christ, and you didn't say anything.
No,
That's
I'm good.
permission.
Yes.
That's permission. So you don't have to say you can say anything on my show. I said it and you didn't say anything. So, wow, man, what a cool show. Okay, so my in to him was we both agreed that Jesus lived and was a real God. Okay, so now I've stepped over the line between us. You see?
Yeah.
So I've already, gotten into his good graces, into his, in other words, Larry isn't dangerous. He's talking about Jesus Christ, and he's not angry at me, and he's not angry about Jesus. And I think a lot of things that Jesus said are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, what, are you going to argue with Jesus? Come on,
I wouldn't.
man. What?
I wouldn't argue with him.
Well, that's you. It has nothing to do with anybody else.
True.
I mean, did I say that you would?
No.
No. But so, in other words, if you step over the line in the right way, politically speaking, now forget about religion. In other words, there's more that we agree with, just as humans, that we don't even know about. Then there are things that we don't agree. I mean, me and somebody from Siam or from Burma or from Russia or from China or from Vietnam, they have their way of making.
Gaza.
Or what?
Gaza. Palestinians and the Israeli.
Yeah, well, okay. Oh, thank you for bringing that up.
It's very horrific to me what's going on there right now.
Okay.
On
Here's
both
my-
sides of October 7th. On both sides, it's very
No.
horrific.
What's the guy who's the head of Israel now?
Netanyahu. I can't pronounce his name.
Netanyahu.
Yeah. Him.
Netanyahu is treating the Palestinians like they were kikes.
It's disgusting.
How can you do that?
It's genocide. 35,000 Palestinians.
No, it is genocide, but when you say genocide, you're starting a fight.
I know. It happens.
So if
I'll
you
put it all
say
over Twitter.
Netanyahu, but I would rather start a fight saying that Netanyahu is treating the Palestinians like they were Jews. Like what everybody thinks of a big-nosed, cheap, money-hungry Jew. That's what Netanyahu believes the Palestinians might be. And no, not even that they are. He's just treating them like that.
Yeah, because they're
In other words,
Muslims.
he has a model in his head. Well, the Germans treated the Jews like this. therefore I have the right to treat other people like they treated me. No, that's not how it works.
No.
Yeah, but that's how his brain works. So it's not group. Arguing in groups is ridiculous.
I know.
Everybody has a different point of view. If there's 4 billion, no, I think there's 7 billion people on the planet now. There's
Right.
7 billion points of view.
Well,
I mean-
I put it like this, Larry. When people are arguing, well, which side you on? I said, the only side I'm on is humanity. That's
Yeah,
it.
there's
That's
only
it.
one side.
There's one side. Humanity. It's not
Well, maybe
theirs.
there's two sides. There's humanity, and then there's no side.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's your choices.
Like
Because
truth.
the other way is extinction. I mean, if you
Yes.
believe if you believe the other side, you believe in extinction.
Extinction. Yeah.
Yeah, the way to settle problems is war and killing other people.
Right.
Well, how does that stop? Because revenge is part of our, that's our Achilles heel.
Right.
Revenge, holding it in.
We're our own worst enemy. Human beings.
Yeah,
are.
yeah. Well, animals are much smarter in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Lions don't kill lions.
No.
No, they fight until one wins. Then the other one go, okay, you win, bye. Bears don't kill bears.
No.
They fight until, okay, yeah. Now, it doesn't settle the argument,
Right.
but they don't kill each other.
Right.
I mean, there are some animals, I guess, that do, like praying mantises. But
Well, yeah,
then
it's the female species of the insects,
female,
the
yeah,
black
female.
widow and the praying mantis. If you want to start a family with either them two species, then you better run quick.
Yeah. Well, don't get involved.
Just walk away. So
Just walk
we're
away.
overpopulated.
Yeah. Just walk away.
Walk away quick.
Yeah. So I don't understand taking sides. I mean
No.
that is kind of weird. I understand you believe that and I believe this. That's possible.
And you know what you said about revenge, that's very true. It's
Yeah.
thinking about it, because October 7th, now the Palestinian people that are innocent, that are not Hamas, are just being tortured, slaughtered, held captive.
Well, no, wait a minute,
And-
wait a minute. I agree with what you're saying. It's just that I think that your approach, I would approach it a whole different way, but I agree with what your point is.
Please tell me.
That is, well, in other words, it's like they aren't what you think they are, or they. No. Just, it's you. It's not them. What you're saying is, no, they're good people. They're not bad people. They're good people. That's not an argument. I mean, it doesn't convince anybody.
Right.
I think they are bad. You think they're good. What have you solved? You're saying they're not bad. Well, no, I think they're bad.
Yeah, you
You
have to
haven't
prove
changed my
things.
mind.
Yeah.
In other words, it's just you're making the argument continue.
Got
if you
ya.
say no, all people or individuals, or in other words, I believe in Homo sapiens. I believe we're all good. And then because your way of thinking, if some people are bad, then there's going to be a winner and loser, and there's going to be a lot of deaths. That's why. I mean, the
That's a good outlook. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah. It stops the argument right there, doesn't it?
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to stop that. Mm-hmm. In other words, I got a left hand, I got a right hand. I can't change the fact that this is left and this is right.
Right.
So no matter how much I change, no, there's still left and right. It's still left and right. God damn it. God damn it. Will you be right? Be left? No. But, you just accept this. If you work together, you can pick up shit.
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
you can hold things. You can
Yeah.
feed yourself. You can reach. So I don't understand that. It's just, man, yeah. But see, where I think you're wrong, where no, I don't think you're wrong. Where somebody else might think they're right and I'm wrong, I just say no. That's a ridiculous argument. You know,
Right.
we're all pretty much, except I see. I think we're going to be extinct. I agree with you way more than I agree with the politics.
Right.
This um, because frankly, I don't know how we got into this subject, but I
That was
really
my
do
fault.
think
I put my hand
no,
up to
no,
it.
but I've always wanted. I think everybody's thinking this and nobody talks about it.
Well, I think
I think that
yeah,
this
I
is
want to talk
good.
about it. I think
But
it's
nobody wants to talk about it because they don't know how to argue.
right.
They don't know how to communicate. Never mind arguing.
Yeah,
Forget
debate.
arguing. They don't know how to communicate.
Hmm.
They don't know how to deal with somebody who doesn't think like them.
Right.
That's what my friend, well, except
On
for
the
when he makes
beach.
stuff. Yeah, the friend on the beach, he will, and he tells me these stories that are just unbelievable. Like he met a little old lady on the beach reading a book, and he talked to her for half an hour, and he could not get her to buy the book, on her cell phone. And she was a little old lady, I mean, really like about 80.
Yeah.
And he was amazed at her adamant being that no matter how much she tried every way of getting around her, no, I have to. Her argument was, I have to feel like buying the book, and right now I don't feel like buying the book, but I'm interested in your book, and I may feel like buying the book when I get home, but right now I don't feel like buying the book, and that one
That's
turned.
really good though. She's honest.
Yeah, yeah, and he couldn't get around it. And he was telling me all the different,
Ways.
sales pitches and ways of not starting an argument, but trying to. And he said, "Well, I dropped the argument and I started talking about something with her, and getting." But then he said, "But I was really trying to get around to where I was talking about art." And then once I talked about art, he was thinking, I'll get
About
her
his
to talk
book.
about art, and then I'm a novelist, I'm an artist, buy my book. But he finally gave up and just, talked like, like your attitude.
Right.
No, I just go with the flow. And he talked to her for, another 15 minutes. They were talking about other things. He just dropped his whole book thing. I've never seen him do that. He just dropped the whole book thing, talked to her about other things, and then moved on. I
That's
said, "Well, did
good.
you finally sell her the book?" He said, "No, I just moved on down the beach." He said that was the first time I've ever done that. No, I mean, he'll stop if he sees that the people are giving him an argument and they don't want to buy the book. So, okay, fine, excuse me for interrupting, and he just moves on. No, I mean, he knows when to back off. It's just
Right.
that she never gave him the signal to back off. Oh, he told me why. He asked her finally. He said, and I think my husband might be interested more than me in your book.
Hmm.
And when she said that, he wants to make a movie out of this book.
Right.
So he talked to her for a little while more, and then he said, "Okay, goodbye," and he went on. And he told me that when she mentioned that her husband was a director, he understood what was going on. She didn't want to buy the book unless she talked to her husband
Them first.
because she thought she didn't get mad at him or kept on conversing with him because she thought that her husband would be very interested in making a movie about his book.
Oh, that was good. That was a good
Right.
turnabout.
So in other words, she was doing two things at the same time. I'm trying to sell books, but I don't want to I don't want to get into an argument. I don't want to get into a fight. If you buy the book, that's great. If you don't want to buy the book, that's fine
Are you
too.
going to be doing any book signings, Larry? Anywhere? Is there
Yeah,
anywhere that
that's why I
people
went
can
to-
meet you? You went to
Yeah,
San
that's
Francisco.
that's why I went to San Francisco. The Alcatraz thing was just a gift. Well, as long as you're in San Francisco, let's get on Alcatraz. I was talking to a writer who wrote, his name is Michael Esslinger. And after I'm finished here, he's making the book for me on Kindle on
Nice.
Amazon. He's taking care of it. But he was the one who said, "Well, if you're going to San Francisco at the Beat Museum, have you ever heard of that in San Francisco in North Beach? The Beat Museum.
Beat
It's a
Museum.
bookstore.
Oh,
It's a
okay,
bookstore.
yes. No.
It's a bookstore named Beat Museum.
Okay. I'll check it out
and
next
in
time I'm
North
there.
Beach.
I'll be there
Yeah,
next week,
it's just
actually.
a lot of beat books, from the 60s and stuff. It's in North Beach. Okay, so he found out I was going to a book signing on Saturday. That's why I went to San Francisco to do a book signing. And then he said, "Oh, I wrote the book Escaping Alcatraz, which is a big bestseller on Alcatraz and all over the world.
Right.
It's a big bestseller. It's a book about the real escape and how that works.
Yeah, they never found the bodies, did they? Of the 3 convicts that escaped.
Well, I asked him. I asked Esslinger, who did the research on the book and wrote the book, and I also asked the Smoky who took me on the tour, and he said, and both of them agreed. It's nobody has the government still has that case, the escaping of Alcatraz, open.
Mm-hmm.
So even though they haven't found the bodies, they also haven't found no bodies.
Right.
In other words, the case is still open. They don't know.
Yeah, it was 2 brothers, but they had the masks in the bed, and then they dug out. They orchestrated it very cleverly.
Yeah. It was, the guy was a genius.
Mm.
I mean, the one guy that Clint Eastwood was playing, who invented the thing, who put it together, who figured out how to get out, with the raincoats and the raft and blah blah blah. But there's a lot of things that the government knows, and the Smoky knows, and Esslinger knows,
That we don't.
and that we don't. But he did talk to Esslinger in research. He talked to the convicts who knew the 3 guys who died or escaped.
Right.
So he talked to them, and they did discuss it with these alive inmates.
Wow.
And there was no conclusion either way. I mean, all the facts are facts. The time that they left, the raincoats and how they glued it together, and all the masks and everything.
Right.
So that was all discussed with other inmates before the escape, and the government has all their information. It's just that it's never been proved either way,
No.
according to people who should know. And when I was on the film, that's all we talked about.
Was the
Did they
escape?
escape or didn't it? And there was just 2, groups. One believed they did, and one believed they didn't.
Yeah.
And it was never resolved. to this day.
Well, the thing is, no one can tell because it's not been proved either way whether they did or they didn't. No one's going to know that answer, and they're probably dead now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that prove that they did escape,
Right.
but there's a lot of stuff that proves that they actually didn't escape.
Right. Ate
So-
by sharks or whatever, yeah.
Well, now the sharks thing they explained to me. Nobody has ever been killed by a shark in San Francisco Bay, and there's a reason for it. When the water comes in, where the Golden Gate Bridge goes over,
Yeah.
it's very thin. It's very, thin enough to get a bridge across. And then it opens up. The ocean opens up and the bay opens up.
Right.
So between those 2 things, the water comes in incredibly fast. It can carry a boat through. But what it also carries through is dirt and filth from the ocean, from the floor.
Okay.
It's so the water is so powerful that it just picks up dirt and throws it in. So the bay is dirty. It's granular.
So they don't want to
And
be in there.
well, sharks don't want to be in there.
Right.
So they do come in because of the flow and they follow other fish. They go in, but they very seldom hunt there. It's just too dirty for sharks. So what they do is they just follow the flow. They just go around and then swim out. But they don't eat anything in there.
Right.
It's just too dirty. So that's why. So that thing about, well, the sharks got them or they weren't afraid of the sharks. Doesn't matter. Nobody has ever been killed by sharks in San Francisco Bay.
No, very
So
true.
reported. So
Well-
so there goes that. But then they got letters from Brazil from the two angling brothers in their handwriting. So, but I asked them about that. Well, what about the letters? You know, they escaped. Went to Brazil. That's an open question. The letter's never been proven that it was the Anglin brothers,
Right.
that it was their handwriting, blah, blah, blah. So everything has been proven and then unproven and unproven again and unproven. So what the Smokey said to me, and he's got the final word, was he said, the government still has the case open, and it will be open for a couple of more years. So until the government closes the case, nobody knows, you know, so I don't know.
It's amazing how
So
they
they-
kept it open, because I don't think they're going to give themselves up now if they were alive.
They,
They'd never give
Well-
themselves up and go, "Hi, we made a mistake."
yeah. Well, one of the things that they use to say that they didn't escape is that the Anglin brothers specifically, and Clint Eastwood's character, there's another balloon. There's more balloons. That that those three guys, the three guys who escaped, supposedly escaped, they were all recidivists, especially the two Anglin brothers. In other words, they have escaped 5 times, and or 4 times, and once they didn't escape and were just released because they did their time. But they were recidivists. They were returned. They were always getting busted and arrested. And they haven't been arrested since they escaped. So
Right.
the assumption is if they haven't been busted and they're recidivists, they're dead. Because and they're also stupid. So you put the two things together and they haven't been busted, they got to be dead.
Right.
So, I mean, in other words, if you want to believe it, if you don't want to believe it, if it's stupid or whatever.
We'll never
It's
know,
just
Larry.
on and on and on
Yeah,
and on.
we'll never know.
For years and years.
So, will you be doing any book signings in Los Angeles?
And when you at Book Soup and Vromans. Vromans is in another city down the road. But Book Soup, and they have a Book Soup at the airport too.
Oh, do they?
But I'm gonna. But I don't know how to do a book signing if it's an internet thing. You know, how do you do a book signing if you're doing a Kindle book signing?
Oh, I don't think you
I
could do
can't
it. I don't think you could do it on Kindle. I mean, if all your books
can.
are, do you have any book stock at home that you could?
Well, that's what I did. I brought a couple of books up with me. I bought 23 books, hardcover books that I bought. I had
Okay,
to
so
buy- I mean,
go to
softcover.
like Barnes and Noble and other bookstores and ask them if you can do a book signing there, and then
Yeah, I can.
and
No,
then
I
put
can
it
do
put it
it.
on social media. I'll promote it as well for you. Find a couple of bookstores near you. Ask the bookstore to promote the book signing.
At Vromans, because I already asked, and Vromans and Book Soup are the same owners, which are major books in LA. If you're going to do a signing, do it in Vromans or Bookstore.
Okay.
Book Soup. That's the place. Okay, so I called and I tried, and they said, yeah, well, you got to supply the books. I said, well, okay, fine, I'll bring a couple. They said, no, no, you have to bring 50 books. And the ones that you don't sell, you leave here and we'll sell them and we'll pay you,
A commission.
the difference, the commission. So it's not wasted and you don't lose the money.
Or you could ask them to buy the book online and then bring it to the book and bring it to the book signing. There's another way. Right.
But also, if you can't buy the book, just either come anyway or forget coming. Just buy it on Kindle.
So, have you got any last things that you'd like to say to the audience?
No, okay. This is gonna go up on Amazon Kindle, Loopholes, and it's just 4 really satirical but cogent stories,
Awesome.
intelligent. Okay,
And good comedy, because
humor.
you've been in comedy with George Carlin and Sarah Silverman, and used to be stand-up too.
This is a bestseller on Amazon.
Okay.
It is. It's got 4.4 out of 5 gold stars. It's
And
really cool. It's about everything in show business that you never heard of before. It's what not to. Somebody told me what I said. Well, what's a good synopsis of the book? And they said everything that it's for actors. Everything that an actor shouldn't do in show business. Read this. Everything an actor shouldn't do. You'll find out. It's great. It's great.
And to all you actors out there watching this, you should buy this book.
Oh yeah. It's a cautionary tale. It says it right on it. And this one is just 4 short stories. It's great. It's really
Awesome.
cool.
So this is Larry.
Okay.
Larry Hankin, where you are now. Thank you very much for being on Chatbox with Sam Season 4, Larry. Once again, you've been a joy to talk with, and I'll be in touch with you.
Okay, thank you.
We'll collaborate about your book signing.
Cool.
Okay. Look out for people on social media. Larry is on Facebook.
Now's the time for the balloons. Balloons now.
Where are they?
Bye.
Good night. Stay tuned for the sneak peek from next week's episode with director Matteo Ribaduo.
Well, I started in this industry a long time ago as an actor in New York, and I made my way out to Los Angeles through a college degree internship, and I fell into writing and directing because my acting coach Aaron Spicer at the time, he was like, oh, you know what, you have a director's mind, you should look into doing something like that. And then I made my first short film that I wrote, directed, and acted, and produced. And it was a comedy, and we took it to Cannes, and it was there, and won Best Comedy in New York. So it was, yes. And Stanley Tucci and Marissa Tomei would be the great mother and father. If you're listening, Stanley, it's about food, family, and foul play.
Butterfly kisses.
About what?
Butterfly kisses.
Butterfly kisses. Ooh, I didn't know we were talking about that one. Okay.
We're talking about everything today.
Oh,
Matteo.
my goodness. I hope I don't bore everyone.
How can you? You've got an Italian personality.
Aww.
I'm a bright star in the nighttime.